It's National School Choice Week, and that means a good time to check in with the John Locke Foundation's expert on education issues. We're chatting right now with Dr. Bob Luebke, who is the Senior Fellow at the Center for Effective Education at the John Locke Foundation. And we're going to focus specifically with you, Bob, about private school choice. When you look at the private school choice options in North Carolina, what's your assessment of where things stand today?
Well, it's the last year's been challenging for a lot of reasons that everybody knows. COVID has really impacted education, public education, private education. And one of the good things is that private schools, the majority of private schools have managed to stay open. One of the things that COVID has revealed to a lot of parents is that the current public school system really has not been able to pivot and meet the needs of kids, and obviously in different situations. Virtual learning has not worked well for most families, and a lot of parents are frustrated and so forth, and they're looking for other educational opportunities. And some private schools have actually seen increases in enrollment. There's been a lot of inquiries from parents exploring other educational options. And as you can see, as I said before, the majority of private schools are open. They've managed to deal with COVID in an effective way, and they're moving forward. Obviously, COVID presents different challenges as far as academics, as far as health and so forth, but private schools have managed to move forward and, deal effectively with those. Now, there's a lot of interest in whether or not parents are going to move their children to other schools. A lot of recent national polls have said about 40% of parents that have had children, in an educational setting have considered other educational options in the last year. That's a significant number. Now, there's about 100,000 kids in private schools in North Carolina, about 120,000 in charters, and there's about 140,000 in homeschools. That's a lot of kids, and about 1 in 5 children are in a school of choice in North Carolina. That'd be either a charter school, a private school, or a home school. Now, we're excited and encouraged because I think as parents look at the other educational opportunities, they see that there are opportunities there for school choice. We have an opportunity scholarship program that provides eligible families up to about $4,200 a year on a scholarship, to provide an education for a child at a private school. That's very popular. We do that for currently about 13,000 kids. And the legislature last fall expanded the eligibility on that program to help, in part, meet that growing demand. So that's an option. Charter schools have done a good job of working with underprivileged kids, and getting them up to speed as far as where they should be academically. We hope that's another option as far as the ability of charters to expand to meet some of those growing demands. And then also we're thinking and hoping sometime in the next couple of months that we can move forward with a small ESA program, an education savings account, to help meet the remedial needs of children that have fallen behind, that aren't where they are academically right now, but that parents could use some of those funds, to provide some sort of testing, tutoring, or even textbooks to get them up to where they should be academically.
Well, you mentioned the current state and talked a little bit about some of the things that may be on the way. Given what we have seen and what you expect to see, does the future look good for school choice in North Carolina?
I think the future looks very bright. In fact, school choice, in my opinion, it's an argument that we've won. The public supports school choice. We've been polling on school choice for quite a long time. And if you look at the numbers on, who should determine how a child is educated and where, people believe in overwhelming numbers that the parents should decide that. Our public sentiment on choice programs like charters, opportunity scholarships, the special needs ESAs, those numbers are all very high, over 50%. And so the public supports school choice. The problem is getting that sentiment into workable programs, on the policy side. And I think now with COVID, and how that's brought the whole education issue to the fore, and how a lot of parents need a vehicle or a tool to be able to help address or help to improve their kids academically, and we think that could best be done through an ESA. I think that's going to be an issue that's going to be, front and center in the legislature, this spring.
Dr. Bob Luebke is Senior Fellow at the Center for Effective Education at the John Locke Foundation. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Mitch.